We now rise back to our JGL public hearing. Um, just as a formality, I would like to reintroduce everybody here today. I am Senator Carl King Neighbors, the chairman of this uh, Senate Standing Committee on Judiciary, Government, and Law. To my left, the vice chairman of this committee, Senator Francisco Q. Cruz from the 2nd Senatorial of Tinian. To my right, Senator Ronnie Castro from the 1st Senatorial of Rota. Cavo, I'm sorry. Ronnie Cavo, was a long morning. And then to his right, Senator Manny Castro from the 3rd Senatorial. And please excuse Senator Magalonia, who was running a little bit late this morning. And also, I would like to correct the record that Senator Magofnia is hereby excused from today's public hearing. And with that, can I ask for a motion for the adoption of the agenda? Do I hear a second? So there's been a motion for the adoption of today's agenda and has been seconded. All in favor say aye. All opposed? The agenda is hereby adopted. Now we move on to item 4 on our public comments. This is the portion of our agenda where we allow the public to provide comments on the agenda items today. On the agenda item, we have 1, Senate Bill 24-24, to authorize the Commonwealth of the Northern Mariana Islands to join the CNMI Guam Interjurisdictional Corrections Compact to improve and expand inmate rehabilitation and training, and for other purposes. The author of this bill is our member of this committee, Senator Manny Castro. Public comments is now open. There being none, public comments is officially closed. Being that we are here, there has been some, I guess, misunderstandings or lack of understanding of the proposed bill, and I would like to offer this opportunity and recognize Senator Castro so he can enlighten the public and hopefully do some outreach as it pertains to the bill that he has proposed. Recognized.
Thank you, Chairman, and thank you to our members of the community viewing online. Senate Bill 24-24 is an interjurisdictional compact. Before I go further, I just want to give I just want to thank the Commissioner of the Department of Corrections, all the personnel at DOC for their continued service to our community. At the same time, to the Commissioner for his leadership in managing the department despite the limited resources available. He's always thinking outside of the box and trying to improve outcomes despite the various challenges that we're dealing with. In regards to this bill, most of all the jurisdictions within the United States have an interjurisdictional compact agreement. Us in the CNMI were probably one of the only that does not have this type of arrangement. And what this bill aims to do is to provide resources for the DOC to grow, not only for the staff and the leadership of DOC, but also the inmates as well. Just recently, I was invited to the Prison Education Program Summit on Guam. And starting July 1st, there is, Pell Grant is going to be available to incarcerated individuals. So just thinking of the logic here, if you have 200 inmates and they're able to tap into federal assistance such as the Pell Grant, you're looking at $1.5 million that the DOC is able to tap into in resources. $1.5 million that inmates are able to avail to grow. And the inmates that we're talking about are mostly nonviolent offenses. So rather than having people go in and out of the criminal justice system, we're putting resources into a program so that they can get the help they need, and when they are released and serve their time, they're more likely to succeed back in society rather than go back to the behaviors that got them into prison in the first place. The Department of Corrections stands for Department of Corrections. So we have to provide the resources and the opportunities to correct the behaviors of the individuals that are incarcerated rather than just leaving them in there to rot, and then eventually when they're released they come back and end up doing the same thing. The governor of Guam recently visited our DOC in Saipan, and in fact from what I heard, she was very impressed with the facility and also the personnel and the programs, especially the DOC outreach program. So this bill aims to help DOC get the resources, training that they need to be performing, if not better, but at industry standard. So thank you, Chairman. That's all I have.
Thank you, Senator Castro, for your remarks. I did want to add that in the bill, there is a lot of language that really specifies, the type of inmates that will be allowed to participate in this program. It allows for an understanding on who's responsible for any payment of the transport of the inmate from Guam to the island of Saipan, as well as any associated costs that might be aligned with the incarceration of the individuals and rehabilitation. And I believe that's the core component is the bill is again restricted to non-violent offenders. The type of inmates that are going to be evaluated for transport or transfer are those who are we don't have it in the CNMI, but they're the types of inmates that get excused from their time served because of good behavior. So we're not bringing any dangerous individuals beyond the scope of, obviously they are incarcerated, but they have shown the inclination to be good participants, and they want to be rehabilitated. Also, there is a separate bill that is not attached to this, but regarding a possible inmate that allows inmates to possibly earn money while they're being incarcerated. Just to be clear, this bill and the inmates coming in from Guam are not going to be associated with that separate bill. So I just wanted to clarify that for the public. Are there any members that would like to add anything? Recognize Senator Cavo.
Thank you, Chairman, and I would like to thank Senator Manny for bringing this up, because it is a very important bill that was addressed by the Corrections Department. Like they reiterated, it is beneficial because these are nonviolent members of society that we are assisting Guam with in regards to the overcrowding of their facilities, while the CNMI has dual amount of capacity to accommodate these inmates that are nonviolent and to help rehabilitate the individuals in that they will become contributing members to society. So in support of this, and to help benefit also the Commonwealth as far as maximizing their capacity and also receiving funding to help the program. So I do agree in support of this rehabilitating bill. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Senator Calvo. One last thing I wanted to express to the public and the viewing public as well is that this bill it outlines the manner by which these inmates will be brought into Saipan and the Department of Corrections, but they will not be released into the CNMI. So upon completion of their sentence, upon completion of the program, they will be returned to the island of Guam at the expense of Guam. So really, it's a mechanism for us, as Senator Ronnie has said, Senator Calvo, is that We do have a lot of rooms that are vacant there at the Department of Corrections, and this is a vehicle for us to allow for them to fill up, not fill up, because we still need some flexibility in the event we have an increase of um, our own need for the Department of Corrections to house inmates, but it also allows them to grow and hopefully pay for their salary increases that they have not gotten in so long, to add to their staff, and possibly other downstream positive net effects that this bill might provide. And again, I just want to reiterate that we are not going to be housing, we're not going to be transporting any dangerous, violent offenders. That is something that I've seen and I've heard on kitchen tables, on picnic tables, and I just want to make sure that the public is keenly aware that we are not going to be bringing in any violent inmates, and that's really why it was written in there, to kind of ensure and give the public a sense of security that yes, we are bringing in additional inmates, but they're of the kinds of inmates, they have to be the kinds that are willing to participate and willing to do what's good to be a part of this function. And with that being said, if there are no other comments from the members, I'd like to thank everybody for their time this morning. I'd like to thank the mayor for allowing us to be here, and I'd kindly ask for a proper motion for adjournment. There's been a motion to adjourn. Do I hear a second? With that, all in favor say aye. All opposed say no. Yet say nay. The ayes have it. We stand adjourned at 8:49 on Wednesday, May 28th. Good morning, everybody.